Hey guys, if you don't already know me, I'm Catherine. I'm a professional makeup artist, and today we're talking about becoming one and what that means. There are plenty of things that go into being a professional makeup artist other than doing makeup. You're essentially your own business, which means marketing, networking, branding yourself, and keeping track of expenses. So you're not just putting your work out there, but you're putting yourself out there as well. It's not easy or glamorous, and it can take years to establish yourself, but knowing this, I hope you're still with me, because if you have any kind of passion towards this, which I absolutely believe that you need in order to be successful in this industry, then I think this is a dream worth chasing. In order to keep this video a little shorter, I'm just gonna go over the basics of each topic. That way I can make a whole series and really go into depth about each one. I started calling myself a professional when I had built my portfolio, had a few years of experience, and was making income based solely on makeup jobs. And I think that's a big aspect of it. Not just knowing what you're doing, but getting paid because you know what you're doing. Being a professional is more than doing a couple friends' weddings or proms. It's looking and recognizing your level of skill. If you call yourself a pro and somebody hires you because you call yourself a professional, and then they get amateur work out of it, they're not going to want to hire you again. Having a kit and not using personal makeup is another big one. I have a video on how to build a basic beauty kit, and I'll link it in the description below if you haven't seen it yet. Makeup artist is such a broad term, but there are so many different kinds of makeup artists out there, and it's rare that you're all of them. So research, shadow a makeup artist if you can, and choose the one that you're passionate about. Here are the different types of makeup artists that we can dive in deeper in a later video. Film and TV, commercial, celebrity or personal makeup artists, editorial and high fashion, wedding, effects, on-set and lab techs, stage or theater, body painters, corporate, and clinical. So the last one I wanted to talk to you guys about were influencers. I put this in its own category because if you're creative and talented enough, you can absolutely gain a following and have that be your career. You can make great money off of that. But I'm just not sure how sustainable it is. You never know how long social media platforms are going to last. And I wouldn't call anybody who does makeup purely on themselves a professional. So yes, use it as a creative outlet, but don't pigeonhole yourself. Now that you know all the kind of artists that you can be, how do you start? The best way to learn is by doing. Practice on your friends, on your family, on your roommates. Even better, go work for a beauty counter. I will always credit working at Sephora for giving me a lot of the skills that I still use today. Working there allowed me to practice on a variety of skin tones and ages, and really gave me the fundamentals to skincare and makeup, and that kind of experience is invaluable. You can also go to school specifically for makeup. I went to the makeup designery and I'm really glad I did, but there are pros and cons to everything, except for pizza. Pizza. Start following professional makeup artists on social media. They're in this field while influencers usually aren't, and there's a lot to learn from them. You also have the internet, which is an amazing resource. I'll make a list of my favorite and most credible sources in the video where we dive deeper into education. A lot of the time you can find students and amateur models, photographers, filmmakers who also need to build their portfolio and do something called TFP, or trade for print. This is where you all exchange your services in order to get something for each of your portfolios. Don't expect your first few portfolio works to look like something out of a magazine. You're just starting out and you will get there. Don't put pictures of yourself with makeup on in your portfolio. Even if it's just friends and family, show what you can do as a professional, even if you're not one yet. When you have enough work to display, I highly recommend creating a website for it. You can put your other work on Instagram, but really showcase your best work on the website. I've seen people not be hired because they didn't have a professional enough looking portfolio. So it's just gonna give you a step up. So like I said before, there's so much more to each of these subjects, so I'll be making a whole series to go into depth into each one. But for now, I hope this gave you some stepping stones to to step on. And until next time, like, subscribe, and share to the ugly mugs in your life. I'm not wearing a bra.